Ready? We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Okay, Mayor Westergaard.
Yep.
Voltman.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Here.
Reese.
Here.
Huss.
Here.
Stankamp.
Here.
Okay, consent agenda. Do we have any additions, changes?
Nope, no additions. Just the notes is that Daryl has signed the building permits for Lakeview Lumber, and then also for Thompson's. That's been approved.
Motion on consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Roll call.
Stankamp.
Yes.
Voltman.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Huss.
Yes. Okay, I have a update on the Veterans Plaza, and I've met with the Historic Preservation Group. I've met with the Legion, and we had a meeting last night with the Parks people, and they came up with a change. We're just gonna move on the north side of the water fountain. And it'll still all be grade level, so it's handicap accessible. I said I met with all these people. I didn't say they all agreed with me. But Tammy or Jess, if you want to, I'd like you to confirm to the council that we did have this conversation. And
The Parks Board agrees and we support it.
this plan was basically yours a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Came
Yes,
up with it. Right. And then I asked retired Brigadier General Gary Eichstadt if he'd give us a few words about veterans' feelings towards this.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to show some support for the vision that the mayor has had with this. I think it's a great idea. I've been in this community for most of my life, and a lot of communities in the surrounding areas, you know, they've all got some type of a memorial. And I know we have a small memorial down there in place right now, but looking at the drawings and talking to the mayor, I think this is a great vision. I think it's something that we ought to work toward. So I want to throw my name in the hat and be a part of the committee to help move this thing forward. And the way he's got that drawn up, recognizing all the armed services, I've looked at it very closely. I think he's done a great job at addressing all the needs of our veterans that we've had that have served in the past, who will serve in the future, and the location being in the area of the playground, you know, with the young adults. Hopefully the parents might see a reason to maybe take their children over and explain the memorial and what that means, and expressing the sacrifices that these individuals have made in these particular arms, and is why we celebrate the freedoms that we enjoy today. And I gotta sell this one side note off the record, Gus. On that drawing, I noticed there was a black mark on that street, and I think it's gotta be back when you had that Honda 450, you know, back in
That was 1 or 2 years ago.
those of you, well, there's a police chief too. Those of you who might remember Gus back in those days, and I was the poor young 8th grader that was in the back seat with, or behind him, and he'd pull wheelies, and I said, how long can you do these wheelies? He said, as long as I want to. And I think back about that, and that's pretty true, you know. By the time the front end comes down, he went as long as he wanted. So I figured that's where that black mark comes from. But anyway, Mr. Mayor, I think you got a great idea, and I think this is something the community would be very, very proud of. And I also saw Chief Blackhawk being a part of that, and even though he was our enemy at one time, I think it's appropriate that we recognize him and have him close to the lake, and so the people from the water can also recognize him and pay tribute. But there's great history behind Chief Blackhawk if anybody takes some time to read about that. But I think it's going to be a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The reason we're bringing this up tonight is Scott says I have to have official permission from the council to begin a fund drive, because I don't want to use any tax dollars, and anybody that'll help me put this together, I've already got probably $3,000-4,000 that if it goes through that they would like to donate already. And the benches I get, Corey Bunt's going to build those benches for us for free, so I think that'll take the cost down. And I haven't got prices on any of this here, because when you sit down with them, they want to sit down for 3 hours to get the prices. I said, I don't even know if I'm going to get to do it yet, so that's why I don't have any cost on that, but I figure we'll just raise the money till we get where we gotta go. But I need a formal motion from the council to let me continue to raise funds so that we can start on this, so.
So is the chief gonna get moved then?
That's phase two. I figured not even to talk about it. It takes
No.
years to do that.
Okay.
Because you have to go to the Park Service, you have to call in Washington, and you have to show where he's at, why you're moving him, and then you have to show him where he's gonna go. Well, I can't take a picture of grass. I don't think they'd like that, so. I just want to do one thing at a time. It causes a lot less, whether we dupe him or move him. I like to get these things done and started, and I just think raising funds is the way to do it, and I don't want to use tax money, so. That's what I'm looking for.
What is that, will that have all the names of the people
No.
that's been in the service?
Nope. This has just every branch of the military on it.
It does.
Because if you put names on it, my theory was, I know some guys that, when they came back, probably couldn't afford the $100 to put the name on there, but they served well and with honor. So then that limits them. If you put them on, there's no wars on there, because I'm pretty sure politicians will put us in another one someday. So if we just make it a generic, quiet little place, and it'll still have the top on here with the light that shines up at night like a searchlight deal. And I won't have any details on that until, if I come back and say, yeah, they'll let me raise funds and we can put the memorial there, that's what I need the council to give me that approval. And I've talked to a lot of veterans, and they, most of them are old enough they didn't want to come up tonight because they must go to bed at 7, I don't know. Anyway, every veteran I talked to thought it was a good idea, and they were kind of tickled that we'd actually probably do something. The sad thing is, a lot of the World War II guys are gone that really deserve it. But if you leave it generic, that way the little kid that's sitting on here for 20 years, he can come back and say, I remember that when I was a kid. It's still my veteran. And if you move to Lakeview and your name's not on there, I don't think you feel like a veteran. You don't feel like the community. But if you leave it just generic with the... And the sixth one is the Merchant Marines was recognized, I think, by the federal government a few years ago as being a legitimate branch, because they went from the East Coast all the way to Murmansk all the time. So that way it'd be 6 panels there, and it'd be 7 foot tall, and this is all maintenance free. So the next council won't say, well, why did you put something out here we have to paint? They can't hardly destroy it, and they can't pick it up and throw it in the lake. And those are the two things I was worried about. We don't have to paint it, and the flags will be in the circle so that Bruce mowers can get around without weed whacking, because they'll complain. So. And then this sidewalk here will take you over by the water fountain and over to the water drinking fountain. And it'll all be grade level, so if they're on a walker, it'll be clear across to the park. Because some of the people that go there is going to have new knees and new hips, that'd be my guess. The old people, I think, if you make them so they can get together, I talked to Elkhorn, which just put one up, and Avoca put one up. Avoca put it right in front of City Hall. And they said, whatever you do, put it where it's easy for the old people to get at. And there's parking on this way all the way down here. And it's not hidden in the weeds. If you put this thing back in the trees, people won't go to it. They just will not do it. I think that's a waste. But I think we owe it to everybody that's past, present, and future. So that's what I'm looking for, is just permission to go ahead and do
So the fountain's
it.
gonna stay?
Pardon?
Fountain is gonna stay?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And if we put that right by the fountain, that'll force the next council to actually put some money in the fountain and fix it.
If you're looking at these pictures,
Right.
so the mayor's standing about in the middle of the concrete area. And kind of took that bottom one at an angle to just really show the kind of a relative position of where this is. So as they step that off, John's standing about 65 feet to the east of that big concrete fountain.
I figure we'll just raise money till we get to what it takes to put it up. But I'm not asking you guys to do it personally or as a council. I would feel honored to go out and see if I could do
So what
it.
are they, any idea what it's gonna cost? Or-
Well, Lon talked, he thought it might be 15,000 just to do that. But he talked to Hancock, and they seemed very interested. They wouldn't give me a commitment, but they normally don't do anything for the community anymore because it's a corporate office. But
Right.
they wouldn't give me what they would do, but they felt that they could step up and do something. So I thought that was quite an accomplishment.
I think it's definitely a worthwhile project, and it sure adds a lot of face value also to that part of the area that gets a lot of traffic.
It's a new reason to come to Lakeview, I think.
So I'll make a motion that we support the project
That'll be good enough.
And you can raise funds for it.
and raise funds for it. Yeah.
Because I wanted to do that so I can take it to progress as promised and show the public. That's- Roll call?
Okay, Waltman,
Yes.
Huss,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, resolution 1436, tax abatement,
This is the prior approval for tax abatement for the Thompsons.
which we always do. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Okay, Huss.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Waltman,
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Good luck on the house. You're in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, annual report. We're going to change that again.
No, it's on page 5. This is the one that will be published in the newspaper. It's an annual requirement to submit this to the state of Iowa. This is the audited report then, so the auditor has reviewed this and everything's good to go. I would ask for the council's approval on this.
We have a motion on the financial report.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Thank
Yes.
Huss.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yes.
Okay, hiring the new police guy. We interviewed him Saturday. It was Whitey and Dave and Ted, Scott and I. Everybody's got his resume. And then, this is the agreement we put together because he's already paid for his training. And, if we brought him in off the street, that's what we'd have to pay him. We're trying to, this was our effort to, pay him for his schooling and then over every 6 months. So the longer he stays, he'll get all of his money back on his training. So,
I think that was a good idea.
yep.
Yeah.
It shows him that we're willing to work with him and we're not the,
So what,
but it keeps him here for a while.
yeah, again, what this does then is, would say, says, first of all, it does say there's a 6-month probationary period, okay? But then the first payroll in the 7th month, you would get one of these reimbursement payments for training expenses. And this is written out to be $2,500. And you would basically get one of those reimbursement payments every 6 months then for 2 years. And this proposes $10,000 then total. Training costs when we send somebody to this 8-week academy has run about $12,000 for total training cost. So, again, he paid his own way, paid his own tuition. This reimburses back most of what the city's out-of-pocket cost would have been. So that's the one part of this. The other part is that it would establish the wage, and you see that the wage is blank. So,
Did he agree with this? Or he hasn't seen it yet?
hey, yeah, you've talked about the notion of this reimbursement thing, right, Ted?
Right, we told him there was nothing set in stone, that it's something that could possibly be offered, and he was really excited that we were even willing to make an offer like that, so he was very appreciative.
And the wage thing, we kind of talked about that too. The bottom scale, how much is that per hour?
The 1625 is our base, or the union base scale now, and normally what they start at is at the base rate.
But that's somebody that's not
Somebody that's
certified.
not certified and not coming in. What I would like to see, and what my recommendation would be, is to start him at the 1754, which is the first step, being he is coming in and he's certified. That's just my suggestion.
What was that?
That was just my suggestion.
How much was that, 17?
1754.
And to me, you know, I just really, as I thought about this, I want to keep the new guys around here like forever, you know, especially if they're good guys, and Alex seemed to be a real personable guy, and I think, in my opinion, that he's going to be a good professional officer, and being C certified, you know, I'd be in favor of starting him out at the $7.54 wage because of that, and because he's had all that training, and he's the only thing he hasn't been is an actual officer. He's gotten all the schooling and everything out of the way, and plus I was really impressed with him.
He's from Charter Oak, which is smaller than we are, and he seemed to enjoy that.
Community.
Yep. He came off really well. I was impressed.
Yeah, I see no reason, I mean, he's fully qualified now, like Dave was saying, he's fully qualified now he don't have the experience, but he's not starting from scratch.
No. Right. And Ted is gonna go up to graduation day and guard him so no other town gets him. Because that's what happens. Because that's what happens.
And that is the other thing for tonight, is that hopefully we can get him hired so that that we do have him in hand before graduation day.
And he graduates when, Ted, again?
The 31st.
So he'd be able to start in November rather quickly, right?
And that, one of the main reasons of why I would really like to see him hired tonight is, for one thing, I would like him, for his graduation, for him to be in uniform. So he would have a Lakeview uniform by the time he graduates. Because right now, he's actually the only one that's unattached, so he'll be
And
up there.
we have told him that he's gotta live here. And he seems okay with that, so.
Well, we can't
I
make
would
him
like to
leave.
make a motion that we hire him for $17.54.
Can we have you have a motion to approve this hiring agreement?
I would,
Okay, that covers everything.
and plus the 2,500, you know, if I could throw it out.
Okay.
For second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Okay, Reese,
Yes.
Cleveland,
Yes.
Woltman,
Yes.
Stankin.
Yes.
Huss.
Yes.
Do you have that agreement on a separate something?
Yeah, I just wrote it up today, so you can have it.
Thanks.
We're gonna talk about the computers.
Sure.
He will also be here Saturday, so everybody.
You married?
No,
No.
But yeah, he will, he's planning on coming Saturday for that way the rest of the community can actually.
we had a little mix-up on the radar stuff we voted on, so Ted can
The
just give us a
Yeah,
fix.
computer stuff.
Computer stuff we bought last council meeting, so there was a change on there, so I want Ted to explain that, so everybody knows what we're doing.
We got the actual cost for this, the badge program that we were looking at, that Michelle kind of went over last time. And the actual cost will be, the license agreement for the first year is $2,750 for 1 year, and then $1,300 a year is what the actual cost per year will be, $1,300. So that's the actual.
And the start was
The numbers that
35.
she was throwing out last time were just kind of guesstimations, so we actually contacted the company, and these are the numbers they gave us.
And it started 35, you said? Oh, what?
$2,750 is the initial startup fee. And the $1,300 per year after that is what the maintenance agreement is.
About half price.
But it's about $4,000 more than we thought it was gonna be, is that?
No,
No.
this ends up being pretty close to in line, other than that, a little bit higher on year one than what we had said. We'd met with the sheriff and he had some higher numbers, but that was for 2 licenses. This is for
Yeah.
1 license.
If you go to the 2 licenses, it actually bumps it up to $5,000 initial cost. But we really don't feel that, at least at the very beginning, I don't feel that we need What the two license means is you can have two officers on the program at the same time. So as long as you only have one officer on at a time, you only need one license. And I visited with the chief up in Sac, and that they went with one also, just because of the cost. I mean, we feel that we can get by with just one license.
But everything, all straightened out, everybody's happy now, so we're just gonna,
We got it all figured out.
yep,
These are the actual costs.
yep.
Okay.
As long as I don't have to run it, I'm fine.
That was the other thing with Alex, he knows computers too.
Yeah, that, yeah, okay.
That is.
And the young guys,
So,
they-
do we need a motion or anything
Change
for the
that?
adjustment, or?
If you'd like to, that'd be fine, but otherwise we'll just proceed with it.
I think we're just fine, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
it's about the same,
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
And there's no surprises, we know it's gonna cost us the monthly fee, and
Right. That was the only thing really, is that startup and then roughly.
I'd say we're fine.
Okay.
Yep, order
I'm
that
fine.
tomorrow.
It's up to you guys, right?
Yeah, let's
I'm
get that,
I'm fine.
I'm fine, okay.
have her get that order.
That's if you're fine, I'm fine. Good, good, all right, we're fine now.
Okay, thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Public
Ted.
Works report. Corn's doing how much?
I don't know what the court's doing, but Ed Lon really didn't have anything,
Lon's
so we
farming.
would, can pass over that.
They have been scooping the gutters with the skid loader, which we do every year. So if anybody asks you, they're working at it.
With that though, our street sweeper is back, though, we can use a
Oh.
street sweeper.
I
Good.
think that bucket works better,
Works faster.
yes. I
But-
mean,
No,
I
the
got
only
my
thing
bucket
is,
when
it
I was
gets all
going
the
home,
leaves
and
up on
man, gosh,
everybody's
it
lawn.
builds up.
Pardon me?
Gets all the leaves up on everybody's lawns, that's all.
That's what it does.
I could see if they would take a rake and rake them back up, but, that probably
Yeah,
not
that
happen.
probably not happen.
They'll blow off.
No.
They'll blow into the neighbors.
Okay, city administrator report. City Week.
Yeah,
Wow.
you bet. City Week is, and progress as promised, is this Saturday.
Yep,
Okay, so we are, the mayor and council are then grilling and serving lunch.
The grill be there, we need to get it there, what's the plan on
Okay,
that part?
well, that was one of my questions, yeah, with dealing with grills. I have one and I'll get one down there. It would be good if we could come up with another grill, one more grill.
Can't we use the one from the community club, that big one?
I'm sure we could. We'd have-
Could.
I'm not even really sure where it's at. but we
it's
could.
at, Onset Center. I mean, I think that's where, but
Cause that's a nice size one, I mean,
Don't the cattlemen or the pork producers have one we could?
Men's club, that doesn't work all
Yeah,
over.
they do.
School has a big one.
Yeah.
Do they?
I could
Oh, yeah.
check and see if
Oh.
Steve would bring that over. and-
Yeah, if he could bring that, that'd
I
be-
mean, that'd be the cat's meow.
Sure, yeah, just
It's
yeah,
just-
take care of everything.
It's a little trick to get it started and stuff, but,
You lit
I'll see
open?
it. Yeah, leave it ventilated.
Just strike a match.
Otherwise-
You wanna check in?
I'll check with Steve and, see if he can bring it over and see if we can use it.
Good.
Think you'll be up
Then we,
next month.
what we have is, we're cooking what
You'll be
is
up
the
there
last
next
of
month.
the, stuff from the concert series. There was some brats, there's about 60 brats to be cooked. And then we got another 150 burgers, I think. So we'll have about 200 sandwiches. We're figuring, maybe to service for about 150 people. So, we have, sandwiches, then Kathy's doing some baked beans, bags of chips,
It's gonna be
just some
70
lemonade,
yeah,
and
73.
Terry's doing some cookies.
It's gonna be 73, it's gonna be a nice day.
And the
so
weather's supposed to
we
be
could
decent,
get-
so.
We could get a higher than average crowd.
Yeah.
So
And there's a
we'll
bunch of
have,
Boy Scouts coming, is there?
I'm bringing 43, so make sure you have 43.
Boy Scouts,
Yeah, the Cub Scouts.
we got any extra orders?
that's
No.
good.
They're young.
Yeah, if it's gonna be that nice of a day.
you sure can. Make sure we have some. Yeah, I guess we're feeling pretty good about that. So at 10 o'clock, we have all of the equipment coming up. All, electric, public works, police, fire, they're all bringing their stuff up. And that's just there for a half hour for display before the meeting. Then we would have the meeting running from 10:30 until 11:30-ish. The mayor needs to be at the meeting, and I need to be there too. So amongst everybody else, we can figure out how to get everything cooked and make sure that it'll be ready for service time by around 11:30.
Okay.
Cook the meat before we serve it?
So you-
Crock pot or
So
put
you
roast
got,
on it.
what, electric, you got, they're electric roasters?
We'll have some roasters.
Yeah.
I won't be there, but, so,
Yeah,
I'll be there.
We burned some stuff, I mean, we cooked some stuff. Yeah, we'll get her done, no, that's no problem, we'll get her done.
Yeah.
if I called one,
Not personally.
I don't know who's gonna run the grill or whatever, but it'd be nice to
go through it now.
go through it and maybe, you know, I'll ask Steve if he could just leave it up at the school and you pick it up there and bring it down and then bring it back.
Got a ball hitch on it?
Yeah. I think it's,
You gonna,
might be a 2-incher.
you gonna handle that then?
I can handle that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll talk to Steve and I'll get
Okay.
in touch with you.
All right, so like I said, we got some beans through Kathy's. Everything else comes from the grocery store.
Okay.
That's gonna be handy.
In case we need more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're close.
Good. Next Monday night, on the 27th, we do have that special council meeting with Bob Veenstra coming to talk about the sewer plant.
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Next Monday.
You know, I tried to get that rescheduled, Jerry, and it didn't work.
That's okay. That's fine.
We heard from Hancock in regards to rezoning that property. And there's the mayor.
Made the big screen.
Oh, they cleared it out. Oh, I was going to be all ready for you here. Anyway, just know that we've got that application to rezone all that property to the north. As we talked with Doug, there'd be still that possibility of a property transfer to the city of what would be that west part of it. So, and that's not defined yet, and I think we need to define that probably before we proceed through the process. So we've got that application. It'll be moving forward, but we need to work on a legal description issue now too. So. Mayor's going to the tourism conference, taking off tomorrow for the rest of the week.
I'll be full of good ideas then.
Look out!
What's the update on our?
We'll have to give them a
Spring?
value for the next
Good.
meeting.
Last we heard they're gonna put a tile and tile the water away, but when they're gonna do it, I don't know. Maybe after Larry's corn's gone,
Been delayed though, huh?
Yeah.
yes. Unfortunately.
Maybe they could have their own water supply, just dig it deeper.
Yeah,
They have their own built-in water fountain.
No.
really,
Well, they won't use much water, I don't think.
No, they don't.
They don't even let the restrooms open, you have to borrow the key to get in.
We have some plans starting to come together now for the bathhouse project down at the campground. Okay, so the engineers have described this as their 75% set of plans. So that's their basic ideas of what they would see happening there. And then we have a couple of weeks to now review things and get things actually finalized. Here are sets of plans for anybody who would like to take a look through them, and we're sure open to really any ideas and some feedback about what you like or what you don't like.
I don't like the price.
Other than price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're getting together with staff here over the course of the next weeks, and we'll come up with suggestions about any potential changes in there. Otherwise, it actually came together, looks pretty nice.
How can sewer plans look nice?
Yeah.
No, not sewer, this is the,
This is a bath,
Oh, that's right. I'm still thinking of the
shower house.
$3.5
Ah.
million.
Well, I still think we ought to be thinking about doing some fixing on that sewer plant. I still think we could spend $1 million or $1.5 million rather than $3 million or $4 million, I'll tell you that. I don't agree with that at all, but,
Well, that engineer guy, hopefully he'll have the answers.
well, that might be, but, you know, it's still up to us, it isn't
Oh, yeah.
up to him.
And the E
I'll tell
EPA.
you what, I think you're
Yeah, we
gonna
are.
lose some people by spending that kind of money on it.
well,
That's
Anyway,
right.
I'd ask you to at least hear out the engineer, Terry, because there's reasons for
Well-
everything about why things have to happen.
I know.
And oftentimes things aren't out in our control, you know, they're out of our hands.
You know,
Because he's gonna describe a couple different projects, the one being this disinfection, and that's the one that has to happen here sooner, in the next couple of years. And you know, even at that, we're just disinfecting the water, but he'll describe a $400,000 project to do that.
you know.
No, I apologize for getting you off track.
No problem. But anyway, there's just some of the, that's just what the exterior would look like, but there's as much detail as you wanna see in here about how things,
How many stalls is it?
so men's is 2 toilets, 2 urinals, women's is 3 toilets. Trying to do things as energy efficient as possible. It has those sun lights on the top, okay? So that during the day, it's basically lit by natural light. And then when needed, it has motion activated lighting in it then. So that only comes on when people are in there.
So there's a lot more privacy when you're using,
This will have doors on the stalls.
Share recipes, I think that's still so cozy, you know. Just,
when you sit down there and you could talk to your neighbor while you're sitting down there.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, really, we're
Hey,
looking for any,
how the Royals do?
I'm looking for any input that you guys would have on that.
The lights that you have up there, is that still gonna be strong enough for like the tornado and stuff to?
Yeah, it's, again, the building is split face concrete building, but it's a block building with then just a regular asphalt shingled roof on it. But I think it's beefed up just to the notion that there's some additional tie downs on the roof and this type of stuff. Nothing that, you know, makes this a FEMA rated tornado shelter, but it is just a kind of beefed up building, beefed up a little bit too.
With big cottonwoods hanging over it, or?
Yeah.
No.
What about
Not in that
steel
area.
roof? What about a steel roof instead of shingles? You gotta replace them.
We can have those discussions.
You need steel shingles.
And actually, that's what we had initially spec'd out there was those steel shingles that look like wood
A
shingles.
couple
but
years
they're
ago, we
steel.
spent a lot of money, and the city guys spent like a month and a half shingling every little building in town.
After that last
That
hailstorm.
Yeah, so I just thought,
Yeah, maybe that's one of the options that we could look at. And
you know,
That's what we had told them to do. I just want to confirm that they're in here. We just got these today, so I haven't really gone through them too fine yet. But
Take a construction guy to do it.
that's why I'm gonna really rely on Lon to, he'll be able to
Yeah.
say everything that's in here, but yeah. Good. Northwest Iowa League is this Thursday, but it's in Onawa. Anybody want to go to Onawa? The mayor you'll be
I'll
the
gone.
closest.
I'll be in Council Bluffs, but.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's just up the street.
Casino there.
Yeah, but it's,
65 miles.
yeah, but it's all
He's farther
breakouts,
there
and then they got an
than-
evening awards banquet that night.
Okay,
We don't qualify for anything, but we're supposed to go, so.
yeah.
When is this?
Thursday.
Thursday night.
this Thursday?
Yeah.
You'd have to leave here at like an hour and a half before opening.
We're on the road by 3:30. Yeah.
What time's it get over?
Well, dinner's at 6, and then there's a program that'll be done by 7:30, 7:45, maybe.
You don't take long.
I won't make it.
That's
I'll get
it.
off the bus till 6:45.
Yep. Okay. Well, very good. Really, that is it.
Motion to adjourn,
So move.
second,
Second.
meeting adjourned.
Oh,